Alright y'all, I'm fixing to make some chicken and dumplings. Now we're going to do the fluffy dumplings this time. I normally do not do the fluffy dumplings. I prefer the flat ones, but I've had requests for the fluffy ones, so I will show you how we do our fluffy dumplings. You're going to need 10 cups of water in here, and we're going to need a little bit of salt. We're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay. And now with the fluffy dumplings, I normally use a little bit of chicken bouillon powder, and we're going to do 2 teaspoons. When I normally do my flat ones, I don't do this. But again, I make these a little bit different. So we're going to get ready to stir this around. Now you're going to need 3 pounds of chicken. I am using chicken thighs, bone in, skin on. And you're going to need 3 pounds of chicken. Get the rest in here. So I got my chicken in there. We're going to put a lid on it and we're going to cook this for an hour. So I'll see you back here in an hour. Alright y'all, it's been an hour, so we're going to go ahead and cut our heat off. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my chicken out. So here's my chicken. We're going to go ahead and discard the skin and the bones, and we're going to put the meat to the side. So what I normally do is I skim all the stuff out so I can have a clear broth. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I normally do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skim my broth. That skim, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on while I am peeling my skin off of my chicken and putting my chicken to the side. Alright y'all, so I got my chicken all pulled and set to the side. Now we're going to turn our heat back on. We're going to add 1/2 stick of butter. We're going to add a can of cream of chicken soup. Let's go ahead and add our can of cream of chicken soup into our pot. Now we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. If everybody can please remember to like and share, that would be greatly appreciated. We do have family cookbooks that are still available. I'll put the link above and below in the comments if you want to get yourself a copy of that. We're going to let this melt, the butter come together, and we're going to bring this back up to a boil. Got 1 cup of evaporated milk, and we're going to make a thickening to thicken up our liquid, and 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then we are going to mix this together until there's no lumps. And set your thickening to the side. And here in my bowl, I have 3 cups of all-purpose sifted flour. Next, we are going to add in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, now we're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So here's 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we need 1/2 teaspoon. Now we need 6 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to use canola oil. Go ahead and add our 6 tablespoons of oil. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you need 1.5 cups of milk, evaporated, whole, whatever you got. You can even use chicken stock or chicken broth if you want. We're going to pour that in here and we're going to stir this up, and this is going to be our dumplings. So we're just going to stir this up and get everything combined. Yeah, so it came together fine, and it's enough where you can just take it and you can roll it up into balls. Okay, so we're going to set this to the side for just a few minutes. It comes up to a boil. You want to boil that for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to add in our thickening after you let that boil for about 5 minutes. We're going to go ahead and add in our thickening. And then we're going to let this come back up to a boil before we start adding in our dumplings. So we're going to go ahead and add our chicken back in. And while we wait for this to come up to a rapid boil, then we're going to put our dumplings in. Okay. So we got to bring this back up to a rapid boil. It's starting to come up to a boil. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take a little bit of your dough and you're going to roll them into little balls. And once you put them in the little balls, then you can drop them into your boiling liquid. And you can make them as big or as small as you like. So I'm going to go ahead and get all my dumplings rolled and put in my pot. All your dumplings in there. You can take a small spatula and take it and then just stir it around like that, but you don't want to physically stir. And then the top of your dumplings, you can just press them down very lightly on the top, and you're going to let this cook for about 15 minutes. After your 15 minutes is up, you can cut the heat off. I'm going to put a lid on it and just let it just sit for about 10 to 15 more minutes to thicken up. Alright y'all, it's been sitting for just a little bit, and this is what it looks like. So give this a try. If anybody has any comments, questions, or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. The link for our cookbook will be above and below this post. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day.